Glad to have you join us. This is the news update at 12 on Dominion Television Ibadan. I'm Oluwayemi Adelakun. President Bola Tinubu has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to tackling insecurity across the country, declaring that Nigeria will not surrender to terrorist, bandit or any form of criminal intimidation. Speaking at a national interdenominational church service to mark 2026 Democracy Day celebration in Abuja, Joe Dakuma, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, said the safety of Nigerians remains the federal government's top priority. He also noted that recent attacks and kidnappings highlight the need for stronger and sustained security operations nationwide, assuring Nigerians that efforts are ongoing to secure the release of all kidnapped victims and strengthen support for security agencies protecting lives and communities. Meanwhile, troops of Operation Adinkai have rescued 360 abducted persons from a Boko Haram enclave in Borno State in what has been described as a major breakthrough in Nigeria's fight against terrorism. The victims, including men, women and children, had reportedly spent months in captivity after being abducted from communities around the Ngoshe axis. The troops carried out a surprise overnight operation on a fortified insurgent hideout in the Mandara Mountains, overwhelming the terrorists and forcing several insurgents to flee while others surrendered. The rescue came as security forces also secured the release of 10 kidnapped victims in Plateau and Kaduna State, while troops in Sokoto freed 2 abducted farmers. Authorities added that efforts were ongoing to restore peace in affected communities. The Oyo State Police Command has uncovered a suspected kidnapper's hideout in Ibadan and rescued the sister of former Minister of Power and APC chieftain Bayo Adelabu alongside her 2 children. The victims, Mrs. Busayo Adegoke Jempo and her 12-year-old twin sons, were rescued during a major intelligence-led operation carried out on Saturday night in the Ayegun Anoye area of Oluyole local government area. Our correspondent Damlola Daudu has the details.
The Commissioner of Police in Oyo State, Oluwagbemika Abimbola, who was on the spot assessment at the hideout, said the rescue followed intensive intelligence gathering and technical surveillance after the victims were abducted on June 3rd from the Elewura Challenge area of the city. He explained that the victims were moved to a scheduled 3-bedroom bungalow on the outskirts of Ibadan, where they were held captives, with the police operation led to a fierce exchange of gunfire between the security operatives and the kidnappers, where the 2 suspected members of the gang were killed while 4 others were arrested and some suspected reported escaped with gunshot wounds. The security operatives also recovered a bump-action shotgun and other items believed to have been used by the criminal gang. The Commissioner of Police, Abimbola, expressed concern that suspicious activities around the property allegedly went unreported despite its location within a residential community. He urged residents to remain vigilant and promptly report unusual movements and activities to security agencies to support efforts at tackling crime.
Following the successful clearance of the hideout, the kidnapped victims, Mrs. Adegoke Olaide Busayo and her twin son, Peter and Paul, were rescued unhurt and immediately placed in protective custody before being reunited with the family. In continuation of mock-up and follow-up operations, the 2 principal suspects, Wale Abolalewa alias Oloro and Dare Edele alias Solution, were taken into custody and are currently assisting investigators with critical information aimed at apprehending other fleeing members of the syndicate. Additionally, the two other suspects identified as agents responsible for contracting and facilitating the use of the said criminal hideout were also arrested. They are Segun Ishola, age 39 years, and Adeyemi Ayobami, age 35 years, and are currently in police custody assisting ongoing investigation.
Meanwhile, speaking with the press, a landlord in Ayegun Anoye said one of the suspects rented the house after completing the necessary documentation in line with community regulations.
Only yesterday, I just know what is happening there because I think that as a kidnapping or Boko Haram also, like feel that it don't enter our area. I ask people that they use the gun. What's in the happen? Everybody do go inside. I call our landlord people, say, let us go to that place, make I know what is happened there. So we organize our people. Then later we are seeing some people that road. He say, don't go there. The people then come that place is DSS. What did happen there? So we are people that go to that place. When I see the place, I know that this is the blood now. What has happened in this area?
He noted that the tenants had occupied the building for barely 3 months before residents began noticing unusual movement of several persons within the compound, a deployment that later became significant in the police investigations. Damilola Daudu reporting for Dominion News.
The federal government has postponed the airlifting of the first batch of Nigerians seeking to return home from South Africa following recent xenophobic attacks targeting foreign nationals. The government said President Bola Tinubu has approved 5 evacuation flights to be operated by Air Peace as part of the effort to bring affected citizens back home, with the first flight expected to transport about 270 passengers from Johannesburg once all necessary permits and clearances are secured. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the evacuation flight initially scheduled for Monday has been moved to Wednesday due to unforeseen logistical challenges and an extended screening process for Nigerians seeking evacuation. The ministry assured Nigerians that arrangements are being finalized to ensure a safe and smooth return. The federal government, in another development, has introduced new measures to strengthen financial discipline across ministries, departments and agencies, placing fresh limit on reimbursable interest and tightening oversight of public funds. Under the new directives, ministers will be entitled to a maximum reimbursable interest of 700,000 naira, while permanent secretaries and directors general are limited to 500,000 naira. Directors and heads of department will receive up to 300,000 naira, while other authorized orders are capped at 100,000 naira. The government also directed that all local procurement above 1 million naira must go through contract award processes in line with procurement laws, and authorities seek to promote accountability and prudent management of public resources. On the foreign scene, Mauritius has denied receiving any proposal from the Trump administration regarding the Chagos Island, and after reports suggested the White House was considering plans to buy the territory from the island nation. In a statement, the Mauritian government said it had not received any official proposal and had not been approached directly or indirectly by the U.S. administration over a separate agreement involving Diego Garcia or the Chagos Archipelago. The response follows a report by The Telegraph claiming the White House was exploring alternatives to plans by British Prime Minister Keir Starmer to transfer sovereignty of the Indian Ocean archipelago to Mauritius. However, the Mauritian government insisted its position remains unchanged, stressing that the Chagos Archipelago is non-negotiable. Israel said it struck a petrochemical plant in southwestern Iran and carried out additional attacks on military targets, despite reports that U.S. President Donald Trump had urged Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to avoid further escalation. The renewed strikes have complicated ongoing U.S.-led diplomatic effort with Iran and pushed global oil prices higher, with Brent crude rising nearly 5% and climbing about $97 per barrel. Meanwhile, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps blamed the United States for the latest escalation and warned that attacks on energy and non-military targets could have global economic consequences. The IRGC added that it retaliated by launching missiles at a similar facility in the Israeli city of Haifa. At least 11 people have been killed and more than 70 injured in clashes in Pakistan, Minister Kashmir, ahead of a protest planned for Tuesday, as security forces confronted demonstrators linked to the banned Joint Awami Action Committee. Police said tensions escalated after protesters gathered outside the hospital morgue, where the body of a group member, allegedly killed during an earlier police shooting, had been taken. Authorities said the violence left 4 police officers, a passerby and 6 protesters dead. Officials added that 23 security personnel and 50 protesters were among those injured, while 30 suspects were arrested. The unrest in the disputed Himalayan region, which remained a flashpoint between Pakistan and India, has heightened concerns over growing tensions and public unrest. Talking sports, Real Madrid have confirmed the election of club president Florentino Perez following the conclusion of the club's latest presidential election conducted by the Electoral Board. According to official result, Perez secured 21,741 votes, representing 65% of ballot cast, comfortably defeating challenger Enrique Quim, who received 11,814 votes, or 35%. The victory ensures Perez will continue to lead the club alongside a newly elected board of directors, with Perez's re-election marking another chapter in his long tenure at Real Madrid, one of the most successful football clubs in the world. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast and X at Dominion Cares. And the hence news update on Dominion Television Ibadan. I'm Oluwayemi Adelakun saying thank you for watching and good afternoon.